Today, July 30th, is the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, and we are reminded of the plight of millions of victims that are suffering at the hands of their exploiters.
Good morning, our government. Please, we are pleading to you. We are guests from Lebanon. We are stranded. Please, all of us that we are sitting here, we are all sleeping in this same room. We are cooking our food inside this room. We are sleeping here. Everything we want to do inside this one room. Please, we need your help. We need your help, our government, our pastors, our afars, our imams. Please, we need your help. You will not lose your children. You will not cry over your children. Please help us. We have regretted coming to this place already. Please, we need your help. We need to go back to our father's land. We want to come home. Please, everybody, please, plead to the government that we want to come home. Tell them we want to come home.
The Oyo State government commemorates this day with the world and most especially the 11 victims of human trafficking who were repatriated from Lebanon on the 11th of July 2020.
July 30th is the World Recognized Day Against Human Trafficking. So what we're doing today is we received the returnees that we brought in on the 11th of July. I believe you had it on the news. 11 human traffic victims came back into Nigeria. Thanks to the Oyo State government and the Lebanese government and an agency, Silver Wings Agency, they brought in over 100 human traffic victims from various states. His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde gave my office the mandate to ensure that we repatriate and empower any of the Oyo State citizens that we find have gone through any form of modern day slavery abroad. So right now, we're making the returnees, feel good. We're giving them a sense of belonging. We want them to know that this government cares about them. This government will ensure that they are empowered so they can be productive citizens. Here today we have the SA, Community Relations. He's here to ensure that he can also have a session with the returnees and find out how his office can also reintegrate them back into the community. We have the Ministry of Women Affairs here with social workers. You can see them in the background where they're having a mini counseling session. The real counseling session will happen personally and privately when they leave here today.
This year's World Day Against Trafficking in Persons honors the first respondents helping to end the crime of human trafficking, which includes law enforcement officers, social workers, healthcare practitioners, NGO staff, and many others working around the world to protect the vulnerable. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Diaspora Affairs, Mrs Bolanle Sarumi Aliyu, stresses that there is no dignity in human trafficking, and under no circumstance should any human be subjected to the evil of domestic servitude and exploitation. Friday, the 24th of July, Omitutu Initiative donated 1 million naira to kickstart the fundraising of bringing the rest of the victims back from Lebanon and to empower them. The Oyo State government is on a mission to put an end to human trafficking and seeks the help of well-meaning Nigerians to help in bringing back these victims. In coming months, the Oyo State government, under the leadership of His Excellency Seyi Makinde, would be implementing measures targeted at activities of entities responsible for the movement of persons internally and across borders. In attendance was the Special Assistant on Community Relations, Honorable Femi Josiah, the Acting Permanent Secretary, Oyo State Ministry of Women Affairs, Mrs. Christiana Abioye, and social workers who had counseling sessions with the recently repatriated victims. SSA Diaspora Mrs Bolanle Sarumi Aliyu encourages citizens of Oyo State to report any trafficking activity to Oyo State Diaspora Affairs.
My name is Bola Sarumi Aliyu. I'm the Senior Special Assistant to the Executive Governor of Oyo State on Diaspora Matters. Today, 30th of July 2020, marks the United Nations World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, and the Oyo State government, under the leadership of His Excellency, Engineer Seyi Makinde, is proud to commemorate this day with the rest of the world. Trafficking in human beings, especially women and children, is not new. Historically, it has taken many forms. It has attained shocking new dimensions. It has become more complex, involving multiple stakeholders. The first internationally agreed definition of trafficking is embodied in the UN protocol to suppress, prevent, punish trafficking in persons. It also simply means the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of persons. Trafficking of persons is the third largest crime after economic fraud and the drug trade. Unfortunately, Nigeria has acquired a reputation for being one of the leading African countries in human trafficking. And as a state, we will ensure that we curb this social evil. According to UNESCO, Nigeria is a source, transit, and destination country for trafficking. Oyo State, due to its geographical location, is also prone to this organized crime. Oyo State is one of the states within the country that provides more trafficked persons to other parts of the world. The effects of human trafficking on victims and the nation is damaging. And unfortunately, at the center of this menace are the traffickers who operate mostly within our society. They are people that live amongst us. While poverty, insecurity, lack of information, gender inequality, and high demand for cheap labor puts certain demographic populations at high risk of being trafficked. The general lack of prospects in our rural, peri-urban, and sometimes urban areas often lead to trafficking, and indeed, many of those trafficked come from poor communities. Poor parents are most likely to send their children either to live with other family members in wealthier communities or to seek employment outside the family network. To better combat human trafficking in Oyo State and the attendant damaging effects throughout Nigeria's society, it will require the collective energy, talents, and resources of everyone. This administration, under the leadership of His Excellency, Engineer Seyi Makinde, is paying utmost attention to the welfare of its people, irrespective of ethnicity, religion, and social status. You cannot focus your attention on investment to come into the country without investing in your people. Because I tell you, Nigeria, if we do not invest in our people, there is no investment that will survive in this nation. Any investor coming into a country that's impoverished will be robbed of whatever they've brought with them. And the resources to be used will not be in this country, because guess what? They've gone abroad to look for a better place. So, this administration, under the Oyo State government, since its inception, will ensure that we put an end to it. This office will not rest until human trafficking is stopped. It's not done by any ghosts. It's not done by strangers. It's done by people living amongst us. In the coming months, the Oyo State government, under the leadership of His Excellency, would be implementing some proactive measures targeted at activities of entities responsible for the movements of persons internally and across borders, most especially Oyo State citizens. Furthermore, we would foster relationships with the federal government, NIDCOM, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and also with all these countries abroad that we have identified as red alert countries, in order to ensure that the human rights of our people are respected. The well-being of Oyo State citizens matters greatly to this government. This administration would continue to invest in the people through quality education, empowerment, healthcare, information programs, and employment creation through different government initiatives. The Diaspora Office will continue to work with identified agencies and ministries in this government to ensure success. Some other reactive measures our government is undertaking includes empowerment, working closely with the Ministry of Women Affairs and the Community Relations Office to ensure that we empower the citizens upon arrival back into Nigeria. I am delighted to inform you that the Oyo State government is in dialogue with the Lebanese government, while plans are also ongoing to reach out to other governments of other countries to dialogue and collaborate without damaging diplomatic relations. We realize as a government that we have to partner with the governments of these red alert countries if we are to successfully end this menace. The Lebanese government has suspended domestic visas be given to any Nigerian to ensure they put an end to this abuse. As a government, we totally welcome this development and also advise other red alert countries to do the same. We need you to put an end to domestic visas so that none of our children leave this country to suffer in your countries. It is important to state that our aim is not to hinder genuine migration of our people. However, we want to ensure that they can migrate successfully and obviously invest back home when they are safe and happy wherever they are. Please, you can also be part of this solution. We need you to report any trafficker or any trafficking activities to the Office of Diaspora Affairs on any of these channels. The phone number is 070-255-1289 and the email is diaspora@mail.oyostate.gov.ng. We're on Facebook as Oyo State Diasporans page. We're on Instagram at Oyostate_Diasporans and on Twitter at Oyo State Diasporans. Let's be our brother's keepers and let's do this together. We need you to reach out to us because currently we have over 140 something citizens of Nigeria who are actually victims of human trafficking stranded in Lebanon. 40 something are from Oyo State, about 41 as of today. But this number is increasing because they have seen a channel to reach out to. So they are contacting us with other people's phones, etc. Finally, we have to strongly stress that there is no dignity in human trafficking. Under no circumstance should any human being be subjected to the evil of domestic servitude or sexual exploitation. Poverty, peer pressure, quest for quick money, and so on are not enough reasons to be subjected to such. The Oyo State government firmly frowns at these practices, and anyone caught will be appropriately prosecuted in accordance to the law. We are working with the Ministry of Justice to ensure that we domesticate the Act, the 2015 Act, to be domesticated in Oyo State so that we can place stricter fines on traffickers. We plead with all those associated with this criminal act to desist from it and to find other dignified ventures to explore. On behalf of the Oyo State government, under the leadership of His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde, I wish you all well as we mark the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons 2020. Long live Oyo State and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Amen.
Say no to human trafficking.